Hey there, welcome back to Paper Sketch Anime channel. With me, your beginner anime artist Darcy. Yes, another weekly drawing progress. Let's go ahead and review the drawing show. On the 27th of July, I do apologize that I did not draw that day because I was mentally taxed out when editing the last week's video because I was testing out a new editing software called the DaVinci Resolve. The user's interface was not beginner-friendly and required me to spend more time on testing out the software thoroughly. On the 28th of July, I drew a single ballerina sketch. I know that drawing a full body helps with the anatomy understanding, but drawing from a reference it can only help me to a certain point. So if I need to know more about how the human body works, especially its bone structures and muscle groups, I have to grab an anatomy art book to study with. So I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a long and gruesome studying for the next coming days and even weeks. But it is necessary to study if I really want to get better with my drawing skills. Whereas the remaining sketches of that day were based on references trying out on new body pose, facial expression, and inking my line work. On the 29th of July, I called in sick from work because the long working hours from the last 2 weeks were starting to have a toll on my body. With some time at home resting, I decided to sketch a bit more drawings, starting with facial expressions. Furthermore, I also sketched some human anatomies using a t-shirt method from a YouTube artist. As you can see the sketch on the left marked with red outlines. The method used specific body points forming a t-shirt helping artists without having to memorize individual parts of the upper torso. Generally speaking, it is an effective drawing shortcut when handling upper torso anatomy if you don't have prior knowledge or the time to study in details. Yes, it is an effective method for beginner artists, but it does not really show the interaction between the muscle group on the body. I personally prefer to break down the upper torso into individual parts like Lego blocks. You can see the image on the right marked in blue outlines. Don't get me wrong about this quick method of drawing. This is only my personal preference, and if someone wants to use this method, then go ahead. It's just not my cup of tea. I will post the t-shirt method link in the video description below if anyone is interested. Yes, I finally drew a girl wearing a maid outfit, and I attempted to draw the same anime girl holding a heart-shaped pose on the bottom page. Her heart-shaped pose was visible, but her body was not proportionally accurate. On the 30th of July, I was drained out from a 10-hour shift, but I was glad I did not skip drawing that day, because I managed to sketch this reference image and ink it afterwards. It came out well, I liked it, and even now I still have the hard time believing that I drew this image. I like how the line texture from her vest after inking it. The 31st of July, after another gruesome 11-hour shift, and encouraged from previous night sketch, I was able to focus and sketch out two full body sketches. Both came out okay, but the lower torso still required a bit more studying, which I promised to study the fundamental books this weekend. On the 1st of August, I came back home bogged down from work. I tried to follow a YouTube tutorial that day, but my eyes just can't keep up with the video and started to doze off. You can see how bad the finished sketches from that day, especially the second image on the right. The angle of her head was way off. It looked like her head just snapped off from a horror movie. On the 2nd of August, I started off by finishing off last night's YouTube tutorial, drawing a body sketch. Then I started a simple portrait reference and inked it afterwards. I kept my promise and drew some fundamental sketches from an anatomy book, focusing on the combination of the bone structures and muscle groups. The bone structure was strangely different than expected. It was my first time looking at the bone structures in great details. It definitely helped me to understand how the muscles form and shape around the bone structure. It was a humbling and insightful experience. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Feel free to drop a comment or give a suggestion to this video. If you enjoy this type of video content, you can also check out my previous videos. Until then, I bid you all to stay safe and goodbye.